What does healing feel like to me? The past year or so specifically has been, quite frankly, the most healing and only healing I've ever frankly done in my life. And to me, healing has been stripping apart and really coming to terms with who you truly are and really understanding that maybe you've gone through life living a life that's just been thrusted upon you, decisions that you thought were best for society's sake, for your family's sake, for your friends' sake, the things that really weren't touching you to your core, things that weren't driving you, things that didn't really bring joy. Over time, you kind of start to wonder, sure, success can come in many different ways, but what's it worth? Is it fulfilling in a way? Do you feel rewarded? Do you just feel like we're on a path? Uh, sorry. Um, yeah, you start to really wonder, are you on a path where you're going to look back and just wonder, what if? Or you can really say you lived with no regrets. And a lot of people, I think, can. But, you look around and I don't know. There's a lot of things that are increasingly becoming out of our control in this world. And it just comes harder each day to come to terms with, how do we just ignore everything that's kind of, falling apart and tumbling around us, and we can't even control ourselves in a way. And, the things we can influence in our day to day lives, right? I can control if I can come to this bike path and talk to some strangers and sit down in some chair and have an impromptu interview, uh, say hello to some dogs. Like, I can control the joy that I bring to myself. Um, and that's new. That's what healing has been able to give me because I was vulnerable with myself and truly understanding that a lot of the anxieties that really held me back in life and the fears, shame, guilt, all those things were not really my identity. I quite frankly didn't know who I was. And this even feels like I practiced this. I didn't. This is just kind of the inner monologues that I've been having with myself, kind of on a nightly basis, which feels exhausting, but to say for 34 years. Um, Not as deep as I've been having lately, but in the past year or so, like that's been kind of the wake up call for me to see, like, where am I going? And how do I kind of break the patterns that have been maybe projected onto me from my parents who love them to death, but you know, they don't know how to do this type of work. And in a way, that is what, unfortunately, probably was thrusted upon them and was thrusted upon the ones before them. And it's like cycles and cycles of the same shame and guilt and fear and patterns and like the same life lessons. It feels like keeps repeating in generations and generations. And it's just something that it just felt like I was called upon myself in a way to like break that chain. Um, so healing to me has been all about being vulnerable and going within, feeling that like balance about, I don't know, uh, not avoiding the dark parts and deciphering them. For me, it's been about like talking to my inner child in a way and like revisiting patterns and scenes that I remember like very vividly as like turning points in my life and kind of giving myself that grace that I wish I think I was receiving at that point in time, which in the moment you never know. You're always in survival mode. And um, in a way, healing to me has been able to like free myself of like that little kid can rest now because somebody's taking care of him, and it's always been you. Like, you've always had to do it for yourself. So in a way, it's like acknowledging and giving yourself that love finally. Um, and it just feels beautiful. Like, you realize you've been chasing love attention, desire, all these things from people that weren't going to give it to you until you realize you can give it to yourself first. And that self-love, in a way, has been like my journey of this past year, is like falling in love with myself and realizing like who is this behind the mirror that I'm looking at, that I have to talk to. And even that was even the most uncomfortable piece, was learning to how to look myself in the mirror and saying like, here's things that are beautiful about you. Here's how far you've come. Here's things that aren't just flaws. Like, you can realize this body dysmorphia, like, you look fucking good, dude. Like, you can be honest about that finally for once. Like, you don't have to nitpick everything about your personality or what you did wrong every day. Like, healing to me has been about perspective and calming my nervous system for once and appreciating nature finally again. And in a way, it's like I'm starting to see color return to my life. And I kind of feel like, in a way, nature is like a great representation of that. Like, that's why this bike path's been important to me since I moved to Somerville. Actually, not really. I haven't been taking advantage of it for the past like 2 years until recently, when a lot's been going on in my life, and it's just been like a really transformative process. And yeah, healing to me has just been very freeing. Like, now I'm just, I was cynical before. I was a stubborn asshole. Like, let's be real. I never would have fucking done this. This is crazy. Like, I don't care about this anymore. Like, yeah, it really opened me up, and now I just want to like do what I want to do. And it's okay that I don't know what exactly I want to do, but I want to explore my talents and figure out what are my hobbies, because I don't think I have any, and that's pretty sad. Like, and even just being vulnerable like this is fine, because these aren't bad things. It's okay to be human and acknowledge that we have feelings, we have emotions, we have desires, we have goals. And I don't know, like, I think it's just optimistic and hopeful now to have like a belief system instead of just like hope for once. Like, I believe things are gonna work out. Like, despite everything being shit everywhere, the world's burning, but you know what? It's a nice day, the sun's out, people are lovely. So for, an hour of a day or whatever, when you come to kind of meditate, for me it's working out, when I can like silence my mind and focus on myself. Or, late night dance sessions in the kitchen, getting a little, having a little good time. It's spiritual in a way, and you start to release all those things that really you don't identify with anymore, and you start to figure out, like, who am I? Like, it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, I think, well said. Gotta give myself a compliment there at the end.